Drip network time in operation, 7 months. Drip coins in the market right now, 1 million. Drip coins locked up in the protocol, 900,000. Actual circulating supply of Drip tokens, 100,000. Drip's market cap at present, $12 million. Coin price at launch of the project, $34. Coin price 2 months after launch, $6.50. Drip's guaranteed daily ROI, 1%. Amount of Drip tokens you would have had if you had invested and compounded $1,000 or 30 Drip tokens at the very beginning of the project and then sold 2 months later. 54.5 tokens. Return on investment if you would have done this, negative 65%. This doesn't even account for the fact that all of your tokens are gone as soon as you put them into the protocol. Time period that it took Drip's token price to recover back to where it opened at, 4.5 months or around December of 2021. Drip coin price now, $118. Price at the all-time high, $168. Percent decrease right now from the all-time high is 31%. How much would you have made after a year if you would have only taken the 1%? 3.65 tokens for every token that you invested. How many Drip would you have had if you would have compounded for a year? 37.78 tokens. ROI per year on compounding, or what they call hydrating, 3,700%. How much price decrease protection does that bring if you compound at 1% over 1 year? 97.3% price decrease protection. Does this sound vaguely familiar to you? I know it definitely does to me. Ways that Drip makes this revenue to pay their investors 1% every day. Taxing all of their new investors and stakers. How many times does Drip tax its investors through the lifetime of their investment? Up to 7 different times, to the tune of anywhere from 1% all the way up to 50%. Best way to make money with Drip? Make sure you're referring people. Sounds weird. Likelihood that you will get your ROI out of this project if you are not 1, compounding, 2, referring people, 3, one of the lucky people that bought low and sold high, or 4, any combination of those, slim to none. Welcome back, everybody. Don't worry, Drew came back to save the day. I see the urgency. You ask and I deliver. I listen to my people, I listen to my subscribers, I listen to my supporters. This was the second most requested topic under Strong Block. I just dropped Strong Block, now it's Drip's time. This one's for you. DeFi game is out of control, but luckily I'm here to sift through the rubbish, tread those murky waters, and then navigate through this scam artistry that we're seeing as of late. Drip Network essentially hinges on the principle that new investors always come into the market and the old investors are actually bringing new investors in. The way that Drip makes money, as I stated in the intro and as they state it in the white paper, which I'll link in the description, is a tax on token sales and staking, among many other ways that they tax their investors, and a full team building referral process. This tax funds their 1% ROI that they give to their investors every day. Spoiler alert, this is a multi-level marketing scheme. Spoiler alert, this is a pyramid scheme. And spoiler alert, this is a Ponzi scheme. It's so prevalent in this market right now, it's almost predictable. Most multi-level marketing schemes offer some type of service or product, right? But Drip doesn't necessarily do that. They offer a buy-in to a guaranteed ROI that may or may not come. We all know how that goes. That's absolutely illegal for financial institutions to do in the United States if they're regulated. But in crypto, it's the Wild West right now. Shoot 'em up, let's get it. This is a troubling thing right here. You have to lock up your money for 365 days. You can't pull funds, and your money is gone once you lock it up. They take it into the protocol and they burn it. Your reward on this is 1% per day. That is a lot of faith that you're putting in the protocol to actually pay you that 1% every day, and it's a lot of faith in the coin that it will go up. But what they really want you to do is keep your money in the protocol and compound. That keeps the money in their hands while you're getting rich on paper. This is different from the protocols like Hex. With that, you can choose your lockup period anywhere from like 1 to 555 days. It's not an absolutely stipulated thing. It's not mandatory that you have to do this certain contract. Also with Hex, it's only around like a 40% ROI. That's what they're saying on their website, APY for normal contracts. That's a lot different from a 365% ROI and definitely a lot different from a compounding 3,700% plus ROI per year. I've said it a million times, if somebody's guaranteeing you an ROI, run for the hills. Here's another thing. Every time you compound, you're taxed 5% on whatever it is that you want to compound. That means they're taxing you 5% to roll your profits back in to make you more money. So they're taxing you on the money that you made that you're trying to make more money with. Another spoiler alert, guys. You're taxed 7 times in this protocol from start to finish. It's crazy. 10% to buy the coin, 10% to stake the coin, 10% more if you want to put it into the protocol's liquidity pool, which they call the reservoir, but you have to do that with Binance coin. You can't even do that with drip tokens. And they give you some token named drop. 10% to claim your profits. 5% when you compound every time, and you have to do it yourself. It's not automated yet. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. They may have done it. Anywhere from 5 to 50% if you're unstaking and you're considered a whale that owns too much of the liquidity or the total circulating supply. And even after you claim, there's a 1% tax if you want to convert your drip, which can't get you USD, into anything that can, which is Binance coin. This is crazy. Tax city, baby. People thought that the US government taxed people. These guys are taxing. This leads me into my next point. What is the easiest way to actually make money with drip? The easiest way to actually get your ROI before the 100-day period that it takes you to get is by referring people or compounding. Or both. Drip actually encourages people to bring in their own team. Their entire business model hinges upon this. You can't even invest in drip unless you sign up under somebody's referral link. That's a red flag. It's getting really Bernie Madoff-y in here. If someone signs up for drip under your link or under a link of somebody that signed up under your link, then a portion of their investment gets distributed out to you or the person that they signed up under their link, because they do this round robin thing that I'll explain in just a second. It's weird. So basically you get a portion of anybody that signs up under you, their investment, and anybody that signs up under anybody that signed up under you, their investment. The principles are very simple, but this is extremely convoluted. At the end of the day, new investors pay the old investors. Everyone gets the same commission apparently. Only one person gets that bonus. It's like a round robin thing. So if somebody just got the last bonus and a new bonus comes in, they go to the next person up. So if somebody under you brought on somebody and they just got the bonus for that person, but say they bring on another person, then since they just got the last bonus, you get that bonus. They're saying that this makes it fair for everyone, but this is basic pyramid level like Ponzi-nomics. And plus, if they're giving it out via round robin and everybody gets their turn, then what makes people want to go out and beat pavement and get new investors if potentially you don't even get paid for that investor because you got paid for the last one and then the guy above you gets paid? Another thing about this is you have to have this BR34P token in your wallet in order to be able to get the referral rewards. That's another way that they can just kind of generate revenue and put more money into the protocol so that they can afford to pay people. It's also tiered, so the more BR34P token that you have, the more people that you can take rewards from. This probably trumps the model of the round robin. Like if somebody has more BR34P in their wallet than you do, you might get skipped. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't find a lot of information on these guys. I'm doing the best I can. The lowest amount that you can hold is 2, and the highest amount that you need to hold is 1,597, and that's so that you can have anywhere from 1 to 15 in what they call your downline, which are the people that you referred. Doesn't even matter that you recommended people. What matters is, do you own this other token that isn't our token? And that token trades for $300 right now. So if you want to have a bunch of downline, you got to have like 300 bands in your wallet of this BR34P token. Jesus Christ. You can actually compare the charts and they're like the exact same. Without drip, BR34P doesn't work. They work in conjunction. It's wild. Okay, so we know how they pay the 1%. How do they make it sustainable? They said that they have upcoming revenue streams. I'm not touching on this much. I can get into it in a later video if I get enough requests for it, but this video is going to be long enough as it is. Manor Farm is something that they're launching. It's supposed to be like a lending platform, and they say that they're going to make about 40% on whatever's locked up. So 40%, how does that make 365% that you need to pay your investors every year? It doesn't. They're developing a game for the drip platform, and then they can use the drip token on that game. This hinges very heavily on this game from BetFury and the fact that they're actually going to do that. They're trying to launch an NFT thing with some consulting company that says that they have 7 celebrities that are ready to drop NFTs on the drip platform. Okay, how much revenue can that bring in though? You know, you've got all these people that you have to pay 1%. Then they're trying to expand out from just US marketplace, right? And become more drippable in all of these other countries like Latin America and all this stuff. All that does is bring in new investors, which brings in new liabilities every single day. They also are working on partnerships where drip is going to be the native currency. So all of this is just like in the works. The only thing that they're actually planning on rolling out anytime soon is this manor farm thing. And then they have this little thing that they're doing right now that's actually implemented that you can stake on, and it earns you more rewards. And it's not just on the drip network, but it's absolutely hilarious, and I'll touch on it here in just a minute because it's absolutely hilarious. How do you participate in drip if you want to? The only way that you can get into drip is if you buy 10 drip tokens. That's the minimum. And you gotta have somebody referring you. So you gotta get into the pyramid, right? You gotta get into the low level part of the pyramid. That means at the current price that you have to invest at least 1K. To buy drip, you actually have to have the Binance coin. That's like the only way that you can do it, and you gotta buy it on PancakeSwap, or you can buy it in their protocol on their website. Once you buy it, unless you buy it through the website, you get taxed 10%. So that's where they start generating revenue to try to pay their investors. If you buy it outside of where they want you to buy it, then they tax you 10%. Then you go to stake it and you get taxed 10% again. So if you bought this off of the drip website and then you just try to stake it, you're already down 20%. Like, this is ridiculous. And that doesn't even account for all the other taxes we're gonna talk about here in a second. And they recommend that you buy it in the fountain, and it forgoes the 10% tax if you buy it elsewhere. So, you know, if you're gonna do it, I would suggest just buying it through them. But my guess is you're buying recycled tokens or hidden tokens that nobody has because they've locked up 900,000 of them inside of the protocol, and we really don't know what's going on with those. And if anybody does, let me know. And all of this is in the white paper, like it's all in text. There's only about 90 to 100K drip in circulation. Now I'm finding differing opinions because, like, if you go to CoinMarketCap, it says there's 100K in circulation. And then if you go to this other thing that's got an affiliate link for drip, it's called like Crypto ZA or something like that, and they say there's only 90,000. So I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it really matters that much. Now I'm going to show you their end game goal, which is keep the coins inside of the protocol. That's most of the strategies in the DeFi space, is don't actually pay anybody out. Tell everybody don't ever leave the project, don't ever take your profits, just keep compounding. So they incentivize you to compound your profits because it only costs you 5% to compound, whereas it costs you 10% to claim, and then another 1% to convert it. See what I'm saying? This is like stopping people from taking profits. This is like telling people, like, we don't want you to take your money out. Real institutions want their investors to make money. Like, they want their investors to take profit. They should be saying, yes, absolutely, take your gains and reinvest it. But you don't have to be all in one project. Don't invest it all over here. Diversify. This really just reminds me of Bernie Madoff back in the day, how he would only allow people to come in if they had a certain amount of money, and then he would play them for a while and tell them, oh, you can't get in until you get a referral. Now you got your referral. Okay, you're in, but I'm going to keep your profits, and I don't want you to pull your initial investment. I'm going to make you lock it up, and then I'm going to show you every month or every day or every whatever how much money you're making on paper, and then I'm going to pay the previous investors with your funds. The people that are coming back and being like, oh dude, I've been with you for a year, I want to take some profits. Well, that's where he starts giving your funds to them, and then you go in line. Now, whenever you ask for profits, he's getting them from the next guy. We saw how that ended, and I get it. They're looking into new ways to do it, but the thing is when you start off like this, it doesn't look good for you. It looks bad because you're absolutely a Ponzi scam, and that's a very negative type of persona to bring to your project if you actually want to grow and become something real. How do they afford to pay the drip, the drop, the BNB, the WBNB that's all staked, right? That's an uphill battle. You got to bring in a certain amount of revenue outside of this because eventually the house of cards collapses where you're not bringing in enough investors because everybody that wanted to invest has already invested. And there's only so many people out here that will invest in this, right? So then you can't pay out the rewards because there's no new investors paying for that. And even though you have new revenue streams coming in, do they substantiate the 1% per day that you have to pay out to the thousands of people that have already invested? Probably not. Although their strategy is kind of ingenious for bad actors or whales tanking the price, there's another way that you can stop that from happening, and that is to cap the amount you can invest instead of locking up all of the funds and keeping it held hostage, because that's essentially what they're doing. They're holding you hostage and saying you're now dependent upon this rewards model. And then they're paying you a VIG on top of that, the 1%, to shut you up. But at what point will you be able to claim your money back? It's the people that have the networks and the social media followings and stuff like that that can build this and actually get like some real money. For regular investors, it's not necessarily as plausible. They also make money from you putting money in the reservoir in Binance coin, and then they pay you out in Binance coin. Apparently, where does that money go? Are they just recycling that as well? Like, there's a reason why they have you stake Binance coin and wrapped Binance coin and lock it up in a contract that you'll never see that investment back. Want to know why? It's because they only have 100,000 drip tokens in circulation. And when people are staking at the least 10 tokens, that means that they can only have 1,000 investors if they're not recycling the tokens. And how are they gonna pay those 1,000 investors if they're not recycling the tokens, right? And I know everybody's gonna be like, all currency is circulated, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's whenever I go into the store and buy a pack of gum, that same dollar gets tossed out to somebody that just bought, 5 apples and they got $1 change, and then they go and buy a Starbucks coffee with it later. They're actually getting something. They're not getting just this fugazi guaranteed ROI, whatever, that in real life that doesn't exist, and that's why it's illegal. That makes me think that they're actually using the 900,000 tokens that are locked up to help pay. Most people think that it's locked up, but in the background, it seems as such. They are using those 900K tokens that they're saying they're not distributing out to people to actually distribute out to people. The fact that there's only 100,000 tokens caps your investors. How do you stop it from capping your investors? Exactly what they did, by recycling the tokens. How do you afford to be able to continue paying these people once the Ponzi scheme, the pyramid, starts to slow down and it's not building up? There's not enough entry-level people coming in because you've got thousands of people up at those higher levels. You bring in other sources of income, but you got to substantiate that income. You have to be able to keep up with how many investors you have, which when projects like this catch real traction and a lot of people see oh, this is free money, this is easy gains, blah, blah, blah. They just see dollar signs and moon rockets and all this stuff. That's when it starts getting wild, because you're not going to be able to afford to pay all those people out. That's why they tax every single transaction, to keep the wheel turning, right? And then you make it very easy for them to keep their coins in the protocol and make it hard for them to take them out, which means, okay, compound, just one click of a button. But then on the flip side, if you want to take your money, you can't do it at a click of a button. You got to pay a tax. Then you got to pay another tax to convert it to something that you can actually do something with, because you can't buy anything with drip. These guys are smart. It's very methodical and thought out, and I will give them credit for that. It's almost impressive, but you didn't get it past old Drew. So really quickly, I'm gonna go over how they have other ways to keep your money in the protocol. So they tax whales. So anybody that's worth more than 1% of the token supply, they tax them an extra so much percent. And when someone locks up Binance coin in their liquidity pool, they actually take 2% of that Binance coin and then they put it in a pool to pay their investors. That liquidity pool apparently pays out 2% of its total out to investors, and it's tiered based on how much money you've put in the liquidity pool, right? And then 3% of that is actually permanently locked up into the protocol, never to be seen again. Bye. 1% of the 2%. The only way to increase that percentage for you is to add more money to the protocol. So that's by design. They want you to not be getting paid that much money. That way you put more money into it so that you can get more rewards. Come on. Okay, and then there's this animal farm thing. This is an APY to earn more Binance coin. And just follow me here. It's gonna sound like a 4-year-old telling a story because it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not gonna cover it that much because it's so ridiculous, but just pay attention. It'll be funny. I'll make it entertaining. So the animal farm is this APY staking thing where they have these absolutely ridiculous sounding coin names. One of them's named Dog Coin, one of them named Pig Coin. Come on. Follow me, guys. Let's go. The gist of it is that it's a staking network. And this is where it gets weird, like my 8-year-old son is telling a story, right? You can stake your dog tokens and then earn pig tokens, or vice versa. I don't know. I don't care enough to know. But anyways, you can stake your dog tokens to earn more pig tokens, which earn you more BNB that you convert into pigs that earn you more dogs that earn you more BNB Binance coin. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I know it sounds crazy. Like I said, I'm going to try and make it entertaining. That way I don't lose everybody. Everybody goes cross-eyed and stuff like that. So sorry for sounding like an 8-year-old whenever I tell this story, but that's the reality. That's how nonsensical this sounds. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm done with this project. I'm not even talking anymore. Like, we're moving on. Crypto is the most ridiculous place I've ever been. Now, just some words of caution. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what not to do. You figure it out. It's your boy Drew. I'm giving you the info. That's it. The chart tells the tale. I rely heavily on charts. Charts always tell you the truth. One thing to look at in the chart is that Drip was a very underperforming asset for a very long time. And then it went absolutely parabolic whenever the rest of the DeFi market did. FOMO type deal. It then dropped off quite a bit when all the fiascos started happening, and it's been trending downward ever since. Go look at the chart. I'll link it in the description. I always listen to the charts, and the charts are telling me that this doesn't look like it's going to end well. A second thing, on their website, there's legitimately a tab that says, is this a scam? Jesus. I feel like if I'm a white male, I don't have to put in my website a tab that says, is this an African American female? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a scam, you don't have to tell people that. They can see. They're not blind. And another thing, they're not very transparent about what's in their treasury or their reservoir or whatever it's called. And maybe this is just my bad and there was a glitch in the site and I just was the unluckiest person. It shows you nothing. And my wallet's connected on the Binance Smart Chain, so don't act like that's what's wrong. But there's only this one little part in the bottom, and I think it's on the fountain, where it says there's like 38.7K in current drip supplies and there's like 12K in contract balances. Where's the other 50,000 tokens? Is that on the open market? Is half of your protocol on the open market now? I don't know. It's just weird that it's not like really that transparent. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Now, with all of that being said, this is absolutely a Ponzi scheme. It is absolutely a pyramid scheme. Like, there's no question about it. The fact that you cannot get into Drip unless you get a referral or do a referral code from somebody else proves that. I personally would not be getting into this project. But if you are getting into this project, I would say just do it with caution. Like, say you've got $50,000 in your portfolio, maybe just buy the minimum on Drip, test it out for a while, see if it works, see how the landscape is reading, and then make an informed decision from there. If you're already in the project, I would say probably don't compound too terribly much. Like, get your money out before you start doing all that as fast as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, when your risk is zero, you feel a lot better about it. Everybody looks like they're getting rich on paper, but that's not the case. You're not getting rich until you sell. You have to hit that sell button. You have to get that money back. If those coins are still in the protocol, they're not in your wallet, you haven't converted them, you haven't gotten them into USD, you have unrealized gains. You have no realized gains, you have no profits, you have made no money. So you have to sell. If you're gonna say I'm profitable, it better be because you're selling and not because you got 10 drip in your balance or whatever. Because if it rugs tomorrow, all your drip are gone, homie. Thank you so much for everybody showing up to the video. I hope I didn't lose you at the animal farm place. I hope I made it entertaining enough that everybody kind of made it through the video. This was a very requested topic. We'll be coming out with more topics because there's a bunch that have been requested. We're tallying it up and seeing which ones are requested the most, and those are the ones that we're doing. So pay attention for the new videos dropping. If you got any value out of the content in this video, make sure you smash that like button like somebody just slapped your mom, right? Just smash it, right? Make sure you're commenting. Give me any projects you want me to do. Rap with me in the comments. Give me any questions, concerns. And then make sure you hit that notification bell. Just bang that thing, right? Because I'm coming out with stuff like this every couple of days, and you're going to want to see what it is. If you like my content, then I'm sure you're going to like the content that's coming up in the future. With that being said, thank you so much for showing up. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everybody.